Welcome to our tutorial on toe stand. So this is a lovely challenging balance, and you might remember I showed you a video of how not to get in there the other day. So this is all about having a little bit of patience, and when we're balancing, if we start thinking about other things outside of the space that we're in, we get distracted and that's when we'll fall over. So this really does require pratyahara, or withdrawal of the senses, so that you can find your center and find your way down to toe stand. So let's see where we start. Starting in Tadasana, so our base pose for all of our standing series. Grounding down into the earth, finding length through the back body, drawing the hips down towards the earth, feeling the energy drawing up through the legs. So I'm going to take toe stand on my left leg. So grounding the left leg down, I'm going to lift the right knee up to Ekapada Tadasana. From here, I'm going to reach down with the left foot, grab the knife edge of the right foot, and bring that right foot into my hip crease. From here, the right knee angles down towards the earth. I'm still drawing my pelvis, the sacrum, the hips, the pelvic girdle, all of that drawing down towards the earth. Belly coming back towards the spine, chest is open and lifted, chin slightly tucked, and the crown of the head drawing upwards. So there's a lot of energy being used in this posture. My bicep and tricep are engaged in my left arm, and I'm finding a place of balance and a little bit of serenity. So I'm going to bring my hands to my heart center in Anjali Mudra. And eventually I'm going to start hinging forward from the hips. So we're going to engage the belly, and just as we do in our Uttanasana, we're going to hinge forward and start our forward fold, keeping that foot in the hip crease, focusing on our balance, eventually bringing our hands down to the earth. So from here, we might actually want to take the hands a little bit further forward than you think. So when you hit the ground, don't hit the ground, when you touch the ground lightly with your fingertips, just step the fingers forward a little bit as you move into this pose. Try and keep the hips square, and you can take some of the weight into the hands as you bend down into the knee, and then settle back to your toe stand, walking the hands back towards the hips. From here, bringing the right hand up, finding your balance, and eventually bringing the other hand up to the center. Exhale, release the hands back down to the earth. Again, slightly forward so you can take a little bit of weight into the hands. A little bit of pressure, come back up the way you went in. Engaging into the core, bring the hands back to heart center and lift all the way up. Returning the right foot down to the mat. Exhale and release back to Tadasana. So I'm just going to turn side on and show you the posture side on. Is when we actually get down into toe stand, we don't want the hip to be sitting on the heel. So you actually need to squeeze into the perineum or the core and lift up and out, just as we do in our Bakasana, crane and crow pose. So from here, finding that grounded connection to the earth, inhale, Ekapada Tadasana, gripping that right foot from the knife edge, opening up through the hips, tummy into the spine, grounding down, hand to heart center, still finding that opening through the hips and the legs, the forward fold, hinging at the hips, reaching down a little further forward than what you anticipate, bringing some of the weight into the hands and sitting back into toe stand. So here's where the gap is. So you can sit back here on the heels, but I'm actually going to lift up off the heel, squeezing into the center and finding the balance. Exhale, hands down to the earth, pressing all the way back up, engaging into the core, hands to heart center, and coming all the way back up, eventually bringing the feet back down to Tadasana and the hands by the side. Deep inhale, deep exhale, let it all go. So whether it did or didn't work, that's perfectly okay. It's all just a work in progress. So finding your breath and finding your balance, practicing pratyahara, so withdrawal of the senses, not being distracted by anything else that's happening around you, and not being distracted by anything else that might be happening up here. And that's why it's so important during our balancing sequences to connect in with the breath, find that stillness in mind and body, and allow yourself to go gracefully and peacefully into the pose. So not fighting it as you move into it. And you'll fall out, you'll fall over. It might work some days and it might not work on other days, and that's perfectly okay. It's just a practice. So that's toe stand, give it a go, and I look forward to seeing you on the next tutorial.